It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. I'm out for a walk on the beach. You'll see this is Comox behind me here, and I'm just out doing my morning walk. And you know, I'm really frustrated, so I'm doing a no holes barred video where I'm going to let it all out, and I'm going to tell you about my frustration. I'm not doing it in the studio today. I'm not going to edit this. I'm going to leave my ums and ahs and everything in, but I really want to get some things off my chest. And so I thought, what better way to do it is out in the nature where no one can listen to me except you guys. Anyway, so October the 14th, that is a big day. It's coming up in another 6 weeks. What is October the 14th? Well, of course, it's the day that Windows 10 is going to end support. Now, what's going to happen on October 14th is really significant. And it's amazing. If you look at Stat Counter, there are about 1.6 billion people that use Windows operating system. Now, in July, it was the first time when Windows 11 numbers actually surpassed Windows 10. That went down in August, but we still only have about half the people that have converted to Windows 11. There's a huge 700 million people that are still using Windows 10. So what does that mean on October 14th? Well, it means your support is going away. In other words, you no longer are going to get the Windows 10 security updates. So that's bad news. Now, if you take your PC, well, is your PC going to stop working? Is things just going to shut down? No, it's going to work exactly the same, but it won't be safe to use it on the internet. So if you unplug it and you keep it in a box or keep it in your house and you don't connect it to the internet, you'll be just fine. But otherwise, you're going to need those security updates. Now, here's where I get really frustrated. For those of you who can upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11, do it. Windows 11 is a great operating system. It's secure, it's faster, it's a better all-around operating system. Heck, Windows 10 is probably, well, it's 10 years old, but it was probably being developed 15 years ago. It's an old dog that you don't want to use anymore. So if you have the capability of upgrading from Windows 10 to Windows 11, do it. And it's simple. I've done about half a dozen computers in the last month. They all went fine. I doubt very much whether you'll really notice much difference using Windows 10 and 11. The menuing is a little bit different. Sometimes you have to go and find things a little bit in a different area, but by and large it's the same. You'll have no trouble whatsoever. Just get it done. Hit that button, upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11, and do it. And then this discussion is over, period. And I think you should do that for sure. Don't stick around with that old operating system. And don't be sucked into the next thing is, hey, if you're an undecided person, you can actually put the decision off by doing one of three things. That's right. And this is a bad idea. And I'm going to explain why these three things are a bad idea. First of all, Microsoft says, well, if you want that extended support for another year, you have to pay $30. Hold on. Why would I want to pay $30 for an old dog of software that's 15 years old? Why would I want to do that? To keep it going for another year? All your stuff's going to work just fine on Windows 11. So make that conversion. That is a bad idea. The second is even worse. It's points. Have you ever heard of points? You know, you get points for filling your car up with gas. You get points for your credit card. Everybody's giving out points these days, including Microsoft. So if you want to use some software that they have that you never use and you want to accumulate some points, then you get 1,000 points. Again, I think it's sort of a bad idea. And the last one, which is the worst thing you can, this is a really bad idea, folks. Windows says the third option is if you want to take and back up your PC to OneDrive, to Microsoft's OneDrive, you take your PC and you back it up to OneDrive. Guess what? Okay, but what's the problem here? Well, the first problem is you better know what a synchronous backup is. This is where you can get really in big trouble, and you're going to be, unless you understand what a synchronized backup is, don't do this. The second thing is that when you go to back up to OneDrive, the first thing you're going to find is you don't have enough space on OneDrive. So they're going to want you to purchase more space on OneDrive, which means you're going to end up paying some money. And once you get all your stuff backed up there, and at the end of the year, when you've gone a whole year on this, well, you're going to have to pay more money. Each year, you're going to have to pay to keep this large amount of hard drive going, the storage on the hard drive to keep it going. So it's a bad idea. I think this is a terrible idea. Out of the three, that's the worst, and I would avoid that at all cost. So bad decision number one, bad decision number two, and bad decision number three. So for all those reasons, just move on to Windows 11. All right, let's just summarize. To extend your support for Windows 10 for 1 year, you can do one of three options. You can pay $30, you can get points, or you can do your PC backup, your hard drive backup to Microsoft's OneDrive. All those three things I don't recommend, but you can do that if you want to keep your Windows 10 operating system for 1 more year. And then you're going to have to make another decision in a year's time. All right, so let's move on now, and let's talk about the people, you folks who can't upgrade your system. In other words, your hardware, your PC or your laptop won't allow you to update because you don't have what we call a TPM chip. Now, this is a security chip. Hey, you either have it or you don't. You can't add it, so if you don't got it, you can't upgrade to Windows 11. Well, now that presents a problem. Now, in my 5-year-old Dell I have, that's my studio PC, it did have a TPM chip, and I was easily able to upgrade it. But I've seen PCs that are only 2 or 3 years old that don't have TPM chips. So if you don't have one, well, that's a bummer, and you might want, we're going to look at some options for you. Now, if you do have a PC that's an older PC and it's over 5 years old, I would really consider looking at upgrading to a newer one, and just make sure that your new PCs, all new PCs now, will have a TPM chip in it, and in fact they'll come with Windows 11. So I would consider just upgrading your hardware. That's getting to be a pretty old PC. Now, there are some really bad ideas floating around, and this is again where can I scream? I guess I'm out, no one's around me. I can scream about this. There are a lot of videos on YouTube about dumb ideas. And some of the dumb ideas are, of course, you can put another operating system on your old PC and try and make that work. Well, for some people that might work, but it's not a great idea. And the other thing is you can take your old PC and make it into a Chromebook. Again, I've done over 50 videos about Chromebooks. We'll talk about that in a minute. And of course, I think that's a bad idea as well. So both of those I'm not keen on, but I have an idea for you that nobody talks about very much, and they've all got it wrong. So I want you really to think about this, and when we're talking about what your options are. And you may not have to even buy another computer because you already have one. And I'm talking about this thing here, which of course is a phone. It's a cellular phone. Now, this is actually, does anybody use this as a phone? This actually is a very advanced computer. So you already have in your hands an advanced computer. It's called your cell phone. Now, in the United States, about half the users of cell phones in the United States are iPhones. In Canada, it's even a little bit more. So as I'm talking to this group, there's a 50-50 chance that you have an iPhone. So what would be a good option for you? You can't use your PC anymore. You really don't know what to do. You're thinking of moving on. Let's consider just using the most advanced computer in the world, a great piece of hardware, and that's your iPhone. Sure. And you're going to say, well, just a minute. And let me tell you about this, is that if you're probably not watching this video if you're under 40, because folks, the under 40 group does this all the time. They don't use PCs, they just use all their computer needs on their phone. The only reason we're talking about this is because I usually talk to groups of seniors and they're all very PC orientated. But folks, there is no need to use a PC. It's all on your phone. And you own one of the most advanced computers that's made in the whole world. You've got the best hardware, the best software. It's all there for you on your iPhone. Now, maybe some of you might say, hey, I don't think that's a very good idea. I need something bigger. My eyesight isn't very good, or I don't like the finger thing on the screen. I just need something a little bigger. Well, hey, you can take your iPhone now and you can plug it into a monitor. You can plug it into as large a monitor as you want. You probably got a monitor sitting around your house. The Apple has made it so easy just to plug your phone into a monitor, and then it's all on a big monitor for you. Heck, if you can't even see that, or you don't have a big monitor, you can cast that phone to a TV. How many of you have an 85-inch TV? I bet you lots do. Cast your darn phone over onto the TV and you got it, right? You got it. So whether it's a monitor or casting your phone to a TV, all the things that you want to do, checking email, go to the bank, doing all the things that you would normally do on your PC, you can do it all on your phone. Now, some of you may have specific needs and say, well, I need a little more than my phone, I think. And okay, so your choice will be buy an iPad. Your iPad works perfect with your phone, synchronizes perfectly. We call it a symbiotic relationship. The two work together. The file structure is the same, the operating system's the same. It work great together. And if you need a keyboard, you really have to have a keyboard. Plug a keyboard in. You want a mouse, you can plug a mouse into that. But your iPad, whether it's a refurbished one, an older one, or a brand new one, is your go-to device if you own an iPhone. For sure. Forget the old PC and the other operating system. Forget making it into a Chromebook. Forget all that nonsense. Just take your phone, get an iPad, and use your TV. That's all you have to do. It works great. Now, what do we do for the other folks that don't have an iPhone? Let's move over to the Android side, okay? So you have maybe, let's say you got a Pixel phone, okay? Well, now that's great. So if you have a Pixel phone, again, you have the most advanced operating system in the world. You've got great hardware, you've got good support. So a Pixel phone goes great with a Chromebook. It doesn't work with an iPad very well. Yes, it'll work, but it's not great. But it's a symbiotic relationship between your Pixel phone and your Chromebook. It works great. There's great things that happen when you marry those two together. Lots of really interesting things you can do with it. It's a great relationship, and you get a Chromebook cheap. So it's great. I've made lots of videos on how to purchase a Chromebook. I'll put some of the links down below. But look at a Chromebook and you will be happy. A Chromebook is truly today, if you get a Chromebook Plus, it is truly a replacement for your PC. Works great with your phone. It all depends on what phone you have. Now, I realize, of course, that the Pixel market's a smaller market, so there's most likely, if you are in the Android phones, you most likely might have a Samsung phone, and that's great. I mean, they're great phones. Again, you have a great phone. Operating system is great. Everything is good, and Samsung phones work great with Chromebooks, and I would just say that's good. But I'm going to tell you that there are some unique situations with Samsung phones, particularly with their health app that only works on Samsung devices. So if you do have a Samsung phone, yes, you can plug it into a monitor. They have a program on Samsung phones called DeX, D-E-X. We've done some videos about that. And you can just plug your phone into a monitor. Hey, it works just like a PC. You plug it in and away you go, and you've got you just use your phone for all the things that you want to do. Same as we discussed earlier, and you can cast that to an 85-inch TV. If you find that too small, just cast it to an 85-inch TV. Well, the one little catch though is I would consider a Samsung tablet as an alternative, or if you want to sort of build a relationship here. And part of it is because of the health app will work within the Samsung group of devices rather than if you move off. So the health app only works within the Samsung sort of ecosystem. And you might want to consider that if you're looking at getting a Samsung Watch, a Galaxy Watch, or one of those devices. So you might want to think about that. But for sure, Samsung phones work great with Chromebooks as well. So those are some really good options for you. And I just wanted to sit down and talk about this because when you're looking at, hey, I got to do a replacement for this Windows machine, and you're thinking about this and you're looking at all these options, nobody is saying, hey, the decision you're going to make is based on what phone you have. That's so important to understand. And I think that once you look at it that way, your options will open up, and I think you'll make a good decision. Now remember, I want you to remember this, is that chocolate sauce goes great with ice cream. If you have roast beef, gravy goes great with roast beef. So think of Pixel and Chromebooks like gravy and roast beef. Think about an iPhone and an iPad is like ice cream and gravy. Or sorry, ice cream and chocolate sauce, right? Ice cream goes great with chocolate sauce. Gravy goes great with roast beef. Gravy doesn't go so good on ice cream, and chocolate sauce doesn't go so good on roast beef. That's why we want to keep an iPhone with an iPad, and we want to keep a Pixel phone with a Chromebook, or a Samsung phone with a Chromebook. So those are all great options for you to look at as we move into October 14th. But there's like 600 million people that need to watch this video because they haven't made a decision yet. You have to make a decision, folks, before October 14th, and you've got 6 weeks to do it in. Anyway, that's my rant today. I'm going to get back on my walk. I just stopped by it's a gorgeous day out, the sun's out, and it's not too smoky out. I'll finish my walk along the beach here. Anyway, that's what I have to say today. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Ron Brown with Tech for Senior.